Morning students, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing well. A hearty welcome to today's English class. Today we are going to learn the textbook grammar of our fourth lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind. Students, please take page number 50. Here are some headings for paragraphs in the text. Write the numbers of the paragraphs for each title against the heading. The first one is done for you. So this exercise you can do by yourself. You read and find out which paragraph is on. For example, Einstein's equation. It is in 9th paragraph. Next one, Einstein meets his future wife. Find out in which paragraph it is mentioned. So that work can be done by you yourself. Next, 8th question answer. Here are some facts from Einstein's life. Arrange them in chronological order. That also you can do it by yourself. Just in this first one comes Einstein is born in the German city of Ulm. So after that you can give the number. So which comes after, and there are I think 11, 12 are there. So find out, you arrange it in a chronological order. Next, thinking about language. Here are some sentences from the story. Choose the word from the brackets which can be substituted for the italicized words in the sentences. A few years later, the marriage faltered, failed, broke, became weak. Here, actually the correct meaning is failed, though in the textbook faltered meaning is given became weak. So, the marriage failed. Einstein was constantly at odds with people at the university. On bad terms, in disagreement, unhappy. In disagreement. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. Proclaimed meaning, declared, praised, showed. Declared is the correct answer. Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms build-up. So here agitating meaning campaigning, fighting, supporting. Campaigning is the right answer. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled that he left the school for good, permanently, for his benefit for a short time. Permanently is the right answer. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. In an uproar means in a state of commotion, full of criticism, in a desperate state. So first one is correct, in a state of commotion. Science wasn't the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus moustache. Here appealed to. Interested, challenged, worried. Interested is the correct answer. Study the following sentences. Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining his skill throughout his life. Here you see second part of the sentence is given in italics. Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Second sentence, letters survive in which they put their affection into verse, mixing science with tenderness. This second part is written in italics, mixing science with tenderness. The parts in italics in the above sentences begin with ing verbs. Here, maintaining, second one mixing, and are called participial phrases. They are called participial phrases. Participial phrases say something more about the person or thing talked about or the idea expressed by the sentence as a whole. For example, Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist. He maintained this skill throughout his life. Actually, the meaning of that sentence is this: Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist. He maintained this skill throughout his life. So that is combined by using participial verbs, the ing verbs, maintaining this skill throughout his life. Now complete the sentences below by filling in the blanks with suitable participle clauses. The information that has to be used in the phrases is provided as a sentence in brackets. Dash, the firefighters finally put out the fire. They worked round the clock. Working round the clock, the firefighters finally put out the fire. Working round the clock. Round the clock means 24 hours. Continuously, working continuously. Working round the clock, the firefighters finally put out the fire. Second one, she watched the sunset above the mountain. She noticed the colors blending softly into one another. Here you have to bring the second part first. Noticing the colors blending softly into one another, comma, she watched the sunset above the mountain. Once again I repeat. Noticing the colors blending, blending, blending softly into one another, comma, she watched the sunset above the mountain. Third one, the excited horse pawed the ground rapidly. Dash, while it neighed continually. Neigh means making loud noise, loud sound, long and loud sound produced by a horse. So, this also, in this sentence also, second part should come first. Neighing continually. Neighing, N-E-I-G-H-I-N-G. Neighing continually, the excited horse pawed the ground rapidly. So both combining, it becomes one sentence. Neighing continually, the excited horse pawed the ground rapidly. Fourth one, dash, I found myself in Bangalore instead of Benares. I had taken the wrong train. Having taken the wrong train, having, H-A-V-I-N-G, having taken the wrong train, I found myself in Bangalore instead of Benares. Having taken the wrong train, I found myself in Bangalore instead of Benares. Fifth one, I was desperate to get to the bathroom. I had not bathed for 2 days. Having not bathed for 2 days, I was desperate to get to the bathroom. Having not bathed for 2 days, I was desperate to get to the bathroom. Sixth one, the stone steps dash needed to be replaced. They were worn down. The stone steps being worn down. Being, B-E-I-N-G. being worn down, needed to be replaced. The stone steps being worn down needed to be replaced. Seventh one, the actor received hundreds of letters from his fans. Dash, they asked him to send them his photograph. The actor received hundreds of letters from his fans, comma, asking him to send them his photograph. Asking him to send them his photograph. So students, with this we come to the end of this textbook grammar. Remaining you leave it. So students, thank you. Have a nice day.